Today we want to talk about how to maximize small spaces. And just before we start, I know there's going to be questions in the comments if I don't put a disclaimer. This is not my apartment. My apartment at the moment doesn't have a fancy looking chair like this and a, oh my gosh, couch like that. I haven't even bought my couch, a journey that I'm hoping we are, both you and I, because we're cousins, we're social media cousins, we're YouTube cousins actually. A journey which I believe that you and I are gonna share together in the deco video journey that I am about to go with you guys. The first thing that I learned about living in a small space is that you have to make sure that there is a lot of light coming into that small space. One of the biggest things that I'm super grateful to God for is the fact that I had a massive screen door, and I also had a view that had the sunrise in my house. So Saturdays were just so glorious. In that small little garage of mine, there was just so much sunshine coming in, especially on a Saturday morning. I literally used to just, like, I could not wait for Saturday mornings because of the sunlight that would be coming in. But because there was no window on the other end, it also meant that sunsets were very dull and gloomy. So I had to find a way to make as much light come into the house as possible, and this meant sometimes using candles and making sure that your lighting is really good. So if you're in a small space, make sure that you use and maximize your lighting. Try as much as possible to buy lighting that is bright, that is big, and that really helps you bright up your small space. Second lesson that I learned is to make home for everything. I'm talking about every single thing. Already you have a small space, and because you've got a small space, you have to be very thoughtful about the things that you're going to keep in that small space. They have to be fully functional. They have to be things that you need, that you definitely have to have. If you don't have to have it, give it away to charity, give it away to a friend or family, and make sure that this compact little space is filled with things that are very well thought out. And because they're very well thought out, make sure that you have a home for everything. The fork has to have a home. It has to have a particular place where you know you're going to put it after washing it. The books have to have a space which is intentionally set for them, and this goes for everything. I think that this is actually a principle that should even apply even in a bigger home, but even more so in a smaller space. The third thing that I also learned quickly how to do was to make the most of space, in particular storage space. And this comes down to buying a bed that allows you to have space underneath to store some of the stuff that you don't want to use. It comes down to small things like buying an ottoman instead of some other type of stool. You can buy an ottoman because you can open up the ottoman and you can place some more stuff in the ottoman, and it can act not only as a place where you can sit or a place where you can read on or whatever it is that you use your ottoman for. Do you even know what an ottoman is? Because let me tell you something, I didn't know what an ottoman was a few years ago, and those few years are very recent. It's like very recent, like scary recent. Comment below, do you know what an ottoman is? I'm not trying to make people sound dumb, but I know how long it took me to understand what an ottoman was, so let's just put it out there. One other way that I also quickly learned how to maximize my small space was to actually put shelvings, you know, and for me, I couldn't really install stuff in the space. I wasn't allowed, so I had to use like bookshelves to store some of the stuff that was sentimental to me. So find ways, very inventive ways. One of the best ways to find stuff like that is on Pinterest. Find ways to maximize shelving and storage in your small space. One of the other ways that I found very useful when it came to maximizing the small space that I had was to use bright colors to give the impression that you have more space. There's just something very beautiful about light and bright colors that makes a small space look a little bit bigger. and some of these colors, some of these neutral colors are your beiges, and you know, a little bit of yellow there, a little bit of maybe peach or pink. Those small little pops of color here and there can really just make a very small space that could look very cluttered look incredibly spacious. I also found that the fact that I had white linen really brightened up the space as well, and it gave the impression that even though the space was small, it really wasn't that small. Mirrors also give an illusion that a space is bigger than it is, because it almost looks like there is more room inside of the mirror. And so you're going to find out that I'm going to be using this technique even in my new space as well. I intend on having a full-length big mirror in my bedroom so that I can try to open up more space, or give the illusion that there is more space. Here's one thing that I also found out can be incredibly helpful when you have a small place that you are dealing with. It is just making sure that your bathroom always looks inviting and it is always clean and fresh. I don't know, there's just something about a good bathroom personally for me that just sells me. Like every single time when I was going for viewings, the first place that I would enter, and this would be like a complete mystery to the agent, was the bathroom. Like, I want to find out how the bathroom is. If you sell me on the bathroom, then you can then sell me on the other rooms. So I'm super excited about my bathroom because I think it's probably one of right up there, one of the things that I absolutely love about my new place. And I can't wait to make videos on, like, you know, updates on stuff that I'm just going to be doing to make that bathroom look really pretty and really inviting, because a girl that's clean is a girl that's godly, because godliness is next to cleanliness, or cleanliness is next to godliness. Is that even a scripture? Is that a scripture, guys? Is that a scripture? If it's a scripture, please let me know in the comment section below, because people be telling us these things even on the pulpit. Like, I don't know, I don't understand. I am clueless. Staying in a garage, I also learned that you had to maximize the use of flowers. Flowers give life to a room. Flowers create an impression that you are outdoors and that there is space and that there is just this jungle behind the room. Okay, that's a bit of that really is an exaggeration. No, Mel, no. But flowers give life to a room, and even scientifically, flowers will bring more oxygen into a room, and because there is more oxygen in that room, there is more to breathe, and there's just this ambiance that flowers create. And it's funny because I don't even yet have a couch in my apartment, but I bought a flower because a flower gave me joy. I told myself that a flower was going to make me happy, and I went out and I bought a flower. And I was happy because of a flower. So, listen. This right here is gospel. I'm telling you, go buy a flower. Go buy a couple of flowers for your lounge. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's true. It's true. While I was also staying in this small space, I maximized on the use of scents, and so I would make sure that I had beautiful scents. I had a scented candle. I actually realized that scents can really create an ambiance that is just beautiful in a home. They can make a house a home. They can really just lift up and elevate your mood, even just on the dullest of days. So I encourage you to use scents to just make that small space that you have feel more homely and feel more inviting. Finally, I think I spoke a little bit about this in my previous points, but make sure that everything that you have in your small space is functional. You've gotta, if it means going through an exercise where you hold something, ask yourself, is this chair functional? Or it's just aesthetic, it's just sitting there. Nobody sits there, nobody uses it. And if somebody does not use something and you have a small space, you are really doing yourself a disservice, because you should genuinely just have things that bring you joy, that excite you, that make you happy, and that really help you to live a better life in the space that God has just blessed you with. And so I'm hoping that this video has been helpful to somebody that is currently living in a space that is small and they would like to maximize and make maximum use of it. So thank you so much for watching this video. This is the first ever video in the Deco series, and I'm super excited to be pouring out more content. I'm going to be taking you out to purchase a few things for the apartment, and we're going on this journey together. We also have a friend who is also a part-time designer who's coming through and who's going to be featured on this channel, this here channel, and you're going to get to ask her questions, and she's going to get us creating the space initially on apparently what is called a mood board on Pinterest. So we're going to share that journey with you. I'm so excited, guys, and I'm so grateful that I get to do this journey with you. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click that bell because it gives you a notification every single time I post a video on this channel. Good to see you, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. God bless you. See you soon.